various playwrights came and
Okay, all right, please go on.
after that various playwrights they came and they added actors and I think was Focalese added spectacles or scenery in tragedy, and he
Mhm.
also decreased the number of courts from 12 to 15.
Gentlemen, what is the difference between Greek drama, Elizabethan drama, and Charles II's Restoration drama?
Sir, in Greek drama we have very less character, and there is classical unity, and there is a dominant element of in Greek drama is fate. But in Elizabethan drama we have example of Christopher Marlowe. There is a one man show because central figure is in light, we can say, and there is in Christopher Marlowe's plays there are uh, less, we can say, a depiction of female, and Christopher Marlowe didn't follow the classical unity of time, action, and place. And same is with Shakespeare also wrote 37 dramas including romance, history, and tragedy and comedy as well. In one of
Mhm.
plays of Shakespeare, that is Tempest, which is tragedy comedy, and he followed and proved
Fair enough.
himself that.
Fair enough. Okay, gentlemen, you have mentioned a lot many things about Sir Christopher Marlowe. My question is, what do you know about what is the relevance between the Chamberlain and the Spanish tragedy written by Thomas Kyle?
Sir Tamburlaine is the tragedy in two parts written by Christopher
Mm.
Marlowe, and it
Mm-hmm.
was the first play that was written by Christopher Marlowe, and he got fame at that during his lifetime. And
Mm-hmm.
first of all, he wrote in a single part in which
What is blank
Tamburlaine.
verse? Chamberlain was in blank verse.
Yes, sir. Christopher Marlowe introduced blank verse, and Ben Jonson said
Mhm.
that Marlowe mighty lines. Before Christopher Marlowe, there was
Mhm.
blank verse that was introduced in
Fair
English
enough.
drama.
Fair enough. What is blank verse, Noman?
Sir, blank verse is a type of verse in which there is no rhyme scheme, but there is meter there.
So I mean, rhyme scheme is not there.
Yes.
Okay. So, like, what sort of meter blank verse follows? Is it tetrameter, hexameter, pentameter? Or
Yes.
what sort of meter
Yes.
is there?
Sir, in blank verse there is iambic pentameter. The first in iambic means first syllable is unstressed, is followed by stressed syllable.
All right. So, any example of iambic pentameter?
Like my son.
Mm-hmm.
So my is unstressed, son is stressed. My son.
Okay, iambic pentameters. So it is basically you're talking about iamb, 1 feet is there. So like the pentameter means maybe that you're going to talk about 5 pairs.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Sir, I'm sorry to recite the whole line at now right now.
Okay, just
Uh,
leave it. What do you mean by quantitative meter? What is quantitative meter? That was mainly used in classical poetry
I'm sorry,
because
sir.
Christopher Marlowe, he was the first person who introduced all these things. Okay, so during the conversation, you mentioned the three unities. So
Yes.
who introduced three unities?
In Greek, we have an example of Sophocles' play Oedipus Rex, and in which we are
Mm,
given a story of one day of Oedipus Rex, in which the whole story is narrated. He was born and he was exiled in another state. There he, we can say, he grew up, and he was coming back because there is a prophecy regarding
no,
Oedipus Rex.
gentlemen, I just need one line answer. Who introduced, who gave you the idea of three unities? What is the name of
Yes,
that scholar?
it was given by Aristotle in his Poetics.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, three unities: unity of time. Uh, the
Mm-hmm.
story should be confined in 24 hours. Unity of place.
Mm-hmm.
There should be a single setting there, and unity of action, because there is a beginning,
Mm-hmm.
middle, and ending.
So the new classical, they talk about new classicals, they talk about the same unities. So they are following these unities in their poetry.
Sir, actually, the writers of neoclassical age, they tried their best to follow the rules set by ancient people, like classical writers, but they are not
Mm-hmm.
purely classical, because their subject matter, like we have an example of Alexander Pope. He wrote in 1712 the rape of the lock, but he tried his best in subject matter, but the subject matter of
Mm-hmm.
Alexander Pope was not good, because in the rape of the lock we are given the description of a lady who belongs to upper class, and there is a war over
So
her hair.
Numan, yes, the upper class and all those things, they are talking about the artificial comedy. So what is the difference between artificial comedy and anti-sentimental comedy?
Okay, sir. Sir, artificial comedy is also called comedy of manners. It was
Fair
famous
enough.
in Restoration era. William
Mm-hmm.
Congreve introduced comedy of manners, and in which
Mm-hmm.
the style and fashion and manners of upper class are criticized in the form of
Mm-hmm.
drama. And
Okay.
anti-sentimental comedy, it means that there is a sad element of sadness in anti-sentimental comedy, because at the end of anti-sentimental comedy, readers are not happy, they are rather sad.
Fair enough. Numan, at the end of the discussion, what is the name of your favorite poet?
Robert Frost, sir.
Fair enough. Numan, have you completed the basic linguistics was there in your master's?
I'm sorry, sir.
Linguistics was a part of your master's.
Yes,
Linguistics was a part of your master's.
yes,
Okay,
sir.
fair. That's wonderful. Okay, gentlemen, whenever we talk about linguistic registers, what is the difference between linguistic registers, accents, and dialects?
Okay, sir. Sir, basically, register is a, we can say it is associated with the setting at where people used to speak, because a teacher
Mm-hmm.
is speaking with his students, his language, his
Mm-hmm.
diction is different. If he is
Mm-hmm.
addressing, or if he is meeting with one of his colleague in college, his setting is different. Same is the case with, for example, a religious scholars who is addressing to the
Mm-hmm.
people masses in the form of congregation, his diction is different. While dialect is a, we can say, a style
Fair
of
enough. अच्छा नुमान मुझे ये बताइए कि हम अक्सर जो है वो बात करते हैं एक स्टैंडर्ड लैंग्वेज की क्या पाकिस्तान के अंदर जो हम जुबान इस्तेमाल करते हैं इसमें कोई स्टैंडर्ड लैंग्वेज हो सकती है और जब हम स्टैंडर्ड लैंग्वेज की बात करते हैं उसकी डेफिनेशन क्या हो सकती है हम कैसे डिफाइन कर सकते हैं स्टैंडर्ड लैंग्वेज को
सर, एक्चुअली स्टैंडर्ड लैंग्वेज को मेरे ख्याल में जो है वो हर बंदे के इसके हवाले से जो व्यूज होंगे वो थोड़े से डिफरेंट होंगे, क्योंकि
हम्म
हमारा चूंकि हम दुनिया में रहते हैं तो हर बंदे के व्यूज डिफरेंट हैं। तो मेरे ख्याल में कोई भी
हम्म
बंदा इस तरह का नहीं होगा कि अगर वो कोई एक डेफिनेशन लिख देता है तो हम उसको मनोन जो है हम उसको एक्सेप्ट कर लें। तो
हम्म
इसके लिए बड़ा जो है वो डिफिकल्ट जो है टास्क है कि हम कोई स्टैंडर्ड लैंग्वेज की डेफिनेशन करें।
fair enough.
रादर
Fair enough. Thank you
हम
so much, Numan. Thank you so much. The last thing is about neurolinguistics, the last question of today's discussion. Neurolinguistics. Do you feel neurolinguistics is the latest branch of linguistics that is playing a very important role? So, what is the role of neurolinguistics?
Sir, neurolinguistics is an interdisciplinary field of psycholinguistics, because
Mhm.
psycholinguistics study of mind. In neurolinguistics, we study of brain, because
Okay.
everything is stored in our left hemisphere of brain. So that's
Mhm.
all I know about neurolinguistics, sir.
Okay, you need to explore some further details about psycholinguistics, theoretical linguistics. What do you mean by brain imaging, and what do you mean by electrophysiology and computer modeling? Because these things definitely they fall in the applications of applied linguistics. Well,
Okay,
thank
sir.
you so much, Naman. Here I'm ending the formal discussion.
Thank you, sir.
So, should we talk about the way you're requested to improve yourself, or should we proceed further? What was good in your interview?
Thank you, sir.
We should talk about where you need improvement. Like now we are talking informally. So, मुझे क्या highlight करना चाहिए? Should I mention I highlight those areas जहाँ पे आपको improvement की ज़रूरत है?
जी, sir.
Okay, Numan, it was a wonderful interview, and mashallah, you have answered all the questions approximately, and your answers were 98% accurate. That is the high relevancy. So,
Thank you.
mashallah, it shows you are working and you are burning the middle night oil. So, may Almighty Lord of Heaven bless you.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, your fluency is better, but it's not good. You need to work more and more on your language. Sometimes while you're answering the question, the listeners, they feel perhaps you are under pressure. Perhaps you are just trying to cope up with the situation. So maybe you need to work a little more on your confidence. The smile, definitely, I'm sure in your actual interview, you will keep a smile on your face. And when
Thank you.
you're smiling and when a smile is there, definitely the listeners, they can feel it and they enjoy the discussion with me.
Okay,
Overall,
sir.
your grip or Christopher Marlowe during the conversation, what I can deduce is you have prepared Christopher Marlowe, though you have not mentioned directly as your favorite writer. So very good. Your grip on Christopher Marlowe is wonderful, but you need to go with the technical details like the pentameters, iamb, and hexameter, all the things, and you need to memorize some verses, some lines from the literature in case they request you to give the examples of iambic pentameter. So you should not be mum there. Okay. So
Okay, sir.
overall, all the things they were wonderful, mashallah. Based on the discussion, we can easily touch the 72 score, and with 72 I mean that inshallah the bright chances are there that you will be there in the list of selected people. But you need to improve the deficiencies that I have highlighted, and your linguistics portion, especially I'm talking about the latest application. And when I talk about the latest applications, I mean the linguistics, the upcoming branches of the linguistics. Upcoming branches mean language documentation is there. You need to understand like what do you mean by computational linguistics and the writers they're using in the dictionaries. So the translation, the interpretations, undocumented languages, and all these things should be there. So you need to work
Inch-
a little more on your linguistics portion. Your literature portion is wonderful. I'm wishing you good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, you are requested to mute yourself. The next participant we have with us, Miss Sobia is there. Miss Sobia, Miss Sobia Praveen. Okay, we have one Sobia with us. So I'm unmuting you, Miss Sobia.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम सर।
वालेकुम अस्सलाम। सोबिया बेटे कैसे हैं आप? ठीक हैं?
अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह,
हाँ,
I'm fine sir।
ठीक है जी, बिल्कुल आप ऑडिबल हैं। So you're from where, Sobia?
Sir, I'm from Chakwal।
चकवाल से, ठीक है। आप जो हैं वो न्यूट्रल्स की सिटी से हैं, खतरनाक इलाकों से। ओके जी। Should we proceed further with the formal discussion, Miss Sobia? Should we proceed further with the formal discussion, Miss Sobia? You have muted yourself. Please do unmute yourself.
Yes sir, yes।
Okay, Sobia, talking about your name, Sobia, what do you mean by Sobia?
Sir, my name Sobia It is from basically Arabic language. Sob means a cloth,
Mm-hmm.
and Sophia means lady with clothes.
A
And
well-dressed
Parveen,
woman.
yeah, well-dressed women. And Parveen means galaxy.
Okay, so Sobia, what is the name of your last qualification, last degree?
So I have done masters in English language and literature from Fatma Jinnah Women University, Rawalpindi in 2013.
Okay, all right. So what you are doing since then?
What?
What you are doing? You have completed your degree in 2013. So what you are doing since then? It's 2022 now. So approximately
So
9
I am
years. Where have you been?
so I'm serving Punjab School Education Department since 2014 as SSC
Mm,
English.
okay, SST English.
SSE.
So okay, SSE. What do you mean by SSE?
So SSE means secondary school educator.
Okay, okay. So we SSE. What is the difference between SSE and SST?
So secondary school educator means you are on contract, and a secondary school teacher means a regular teacher.
So why the government is not regularizing you? Because in 2018 they passed an act as well that after 3 years of contract, everybody is bound to get regular.
So they're asking us in a peer
Mhm.
PPSC interview.
Okay, so I'm sure that the guys will definitely qualify the PPSC's interview. Well, Miss Sobia, what are your hobbies? What do you do in your leisure time?
So my hobbies are basically cooking in my leisure
Mhm.
time, and also I watch movies and read fiction.
So what sort of movies you watch?
So I watch thriller fiction based movies and horror movies and gothic genre type.
Yeah, Gothic is interesting genre for a female one. So have you read Gothic novels as well? And what is the name of the last movie, Gothic movie that you watched?
So I watched I Frankenstein.
Frankenstein by Mary Shelley.
Yes.
Okay. So when Mary Shelley wrote this Frankenstein,
So he wrote in year 1818.
he wrote.
She,
What was the
sorry.
gender of Mary Shelley? All
She.
right.
His wife.
Okay, Gothic fiction. No worries. Gothic fiction. For the very first time, what is the name of the person who introduced this very term, Gothic fiction?
So Horace Walpole.
Are you sure about that? And what is the name of
No,
his
I'm
book?
not sure. So a Castle of Otranto.
So I'm sure that you have read The Castle of Otranto, Miss Sobia. Have you read Castle of Otranto? I'm not getting anything, Miss Sobia, from you.
No, sir, I haven't read.
Okay, you have not read Castle of Otranto. Then why Gothic fiction? They are your favorite one. How many total novels, horror movies you have watched on the literary books or the literary books that you have covered so far in total?
So far,
You have
total like.
just
Mhm.
Mhm.
So
You have
I
just
have
covered the single book that is the Frankenstein by Mary Shelley.
no.
Mm-hmm.
So basically I watched Twilight series and Harry Potter series, and also I've read Harry Potter books.
Okay, so that's very good. If you have read Harry Potter, there is a sort of novel series. Who's the writer of Harry Potter?
So writer
Yeah, who's the author? It was written by an
Lewis
author.
Lewis Carroll.
Sorry?
Lewis Carroll.
So Harry Potter was written by Carroll. Fair enough. Okay, so Harry Potter, there are a lot many genres of
Sorry, it
novel
was from
dystopia.
J.K. Rowling. Sorry.
Fair enough. So what is the genre? What is the subtype of the Harry Potter? Do you think it falls under the very diction of gothic fiction?
Yes, sir, I think it has a kind of horror elements and supernatural elements in it.
What if I say it does not fall there, it falls in fantasy literature? So what do you mean by fantasy literature? Have you read the fantasy literature?
No.
Fantasy literature, basically where you have imaginary universe, where you have supernatural element, magic is there, magical creatures are there. So do you still, you are going to second your point that Harry Potter, the Harry Potter fall under the very genre of gothic fiction? Don't you think it falls under fantasy?
Yes, sir. You're right.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, talking about the narrator of Harry fiction or the point of view. What do you know about point of view in a novel? What do we mean by point of view?
Point of view means how a person's perspective, how he sees things.
Okay, yes. But I'm talking about in fictional writing, in fictional setting. What do you mean by point of view?
So you're
Okay.
talking that how a novel is
Mhm.
written in writer's point of view.
Yes. The narrator, when someone is narrating something, basically that is what I mean and the point of view in a novel. Okay, what is the name of your favorite writer from English literature, Miss Sylvia?
So Ernest Hemingway.
Why Hemingway? Why not any other writer? Why Hemingway?
So actually, I have read his novel,
Mhm.
Old Man in the Sea, and saw cinematic version when I was doing my bachelor's.
What do you mean by cinematic version when we talk about Ernest Hemingway? Uh, in case you do not know, we can proceed further.
Yes,
Okay. Miss Sylvia, have you read the iceberg theory?
yes, sir.
Okay. In which novel of Hemingway we can easily locate iceberg theory?
Sorry, sir.
Okay, so you have read Old Man and the Sea. So what is the name of the protagonist in the Old Man and the Sea?
So his name is Santiago.
Okay. So do you feel Santiago is a brave person?
Yes, sir, he was.
What is the significance of the dreams of Santiago?
So he basically saw dreams of lions,
Mm-hmm.
and lions always gave him strength.
Okay, so just lines were there in dreams? Are these anything else? Have you read The Old Man and the Sea by text or just a summary? Okay, lines are depicting something. Lines are have been used by Ernest Hemingway as a symbol. So lines are the symbol of what?
It's a symbol of bravery,
Okay.
courage.
What if I say it was a symbol of strength? He was gaining his strength from his dreams. It was a symbol of his youth. He was missing the old gone days.
Yes, sir.
The last question, and then we are going to sum up the discussion, Miss Sobia. Just 3 dreams of Santiago.
So he watched Lions
Mm-hmm.
and baseball.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fair enough. You know, in a dream, a child is there and he grabs Santiago's hand, transports him to the pyramids in Egypt, and tells him
No,
that he is going to find a treasure near them. Okay.
no.
What is the name of the Prime Minister of Pakistan, Ms. Sobia?
Prime Minister, Shehbaz Sharif.
Okay, and Shehbaz Sharif. He's in office since like 2022. What is the name of the month when he assumed the charge?
April or May? April, I guess.
Okay, so are you sure about that?
Yes. So 10 April
Okay,
onwards, I guess.
okay. We are going to join this session again, and we will continue from there. Okay.
Okay.